Hello, everybody. Bonjour, Monsieur François. I hope you do great. Guys, before we start the classic stuff, we just opened last minute that we're streaming online on YouTube and also on LinkedIn. All the other ones should be in the webinar platform called Riverside. So if some people in the chat can tell me if they see a lovely face on my right or left, I never know how we need to say it. That's François, the lovely face, of course. And I will just be the moderator for today. If we can just make those check, then I know that we are all set. We will wait an extra minute and so that the people can basically join as well and make the classic story. Thank you for reaching out and telling me that the stuff work. As usual, I love to know your role, the company you work for, if you want to mention it, and where you basically joining us from. Always curious to see all the people around the world that we try to help on a daily basis. And I am, bonjour Agathe, bonjour, hello Leo, hello Colette, product manager, woohoo, Paris, hey Paris. Bon, all the best for the football tonight. I hope that you will do better. I'm half Dutch, so we lost during the 9. I had to wake up very early, but that's a sidetrack. And I have my amazing friend, François. François, for the people that don't know who you are, can you maybe just pitch your job to your mom in 30 seconds?
Yeah, but I think that it will be, clear for everyone. I'm product manager. So I'm working at Luzmo now for 3 years, and I'm working with great teams to build features for our customers.
Okay, amazing. Hey, Shanti from the UK. Always cool to have people from there as well. So you get it. I will say it once because otherwise he might think that I'm taking it very seriously. But Francois said that he's a product manager, but he forgot a very important more. He's a senior product manager. That means that he knows a lot of things and that you need to squeeze all the knowledge out of the guy for the coming 30 to 40 minutes. The main idea over here, and it's pretty new to what we already did at Luzmo, it's really to show you, but we would like you to operate at the same way that we show you. So normally, and correct me if I'm wrong, you receive an email with a link with different assets. You need to have your preferred LLM coding platform as well. Was all that very clear for the 20-ish participant that we have over here? If not, Connie, which we cannot run the show without Connie, don't get me wrong, is already putting you a link so that you can pick up the different assets that will be needed. François, what can the people expect in, let's say, 35 minutes? Because I know that we're always extending a little bit.
Yeah, so what they can expect, so what we will work on. So first, we will focus on discovering the new Luzmo agent skills. We released agent skills a few weeks ago. We'll talk about it, but not just talk about it, we'll use them. So that's pretty cool. But we're also going to use them to build an app, to build an application. And building this application will be creating a AI shard library. So that's what everyone can expect is learning about skills, learning how to build a shard library with Luzmo, and at the end, how to customize this shard library using Luzmo and the agent skills.
Okay, so you get it. Basically, we should basically send you an invoice of 250 euros because you're having access to a lesson by the master François. So is everybody set up and can we start rolling the dice? Did everybody got the instruction? If not, just let us know so that we know that we can like play a bit a tango in 2-step. But if I get one thumb up, then I say to François, let's roll the dice. I'm trying to do the same at my end. Hey, and we have a supporter at François' end as well that will support us during the entire session. So each time that you hear the dog, it means that somebody is getting there already. All right. So all set, François, maybe can you start sharing your screen and giving maybe the first instruction of the people, or how do you see this?
Indeed. So for me, I'm going to use a Claude. So I will use code to the app. You can use Claude, but you can also use Codex. You can use Cursor. I think that it will work. I've tried Codex a few times and it works. So yeah, definitely you can give a shot. That's what we need. So we need Claude Code, Cursor, or Codex to start with. If you are using the Code in the terminal, also it will work. So let's start, Jonathan.
Yes, of course, we can start. By curiosity, your preferred coding LLM, Claude, Codex, would love to know. So if some people just want to drop that in the chat, feel free to do it. Always curious because they have marketplaces and some people ask me to be present in marketplaces. So I know where the priorities needs to be. Yes, François, I'm ready. Let's go,
Yeah,
Agathe.
so
Team Claude
to,
aussi.
to answer your question, Jonathan, I think that I also like a lot Claude. Claude is very cool, but Codex and specifically obviously GPT-5.5, it's pretty good on some tasks. So usually pairing one or two, it's how I'm using them.
I
But
told you he
today,
was a senior. I told you he was a senior. He always need more. He cannot like be happy with one. François always wants more. But it's also good for you or dear clients. He always want to deliver more. So okay, I go on the app because I have the
let's
app. If
start.
I okay, I'm on the app. Let's go.
Let's go. So we can start with the first step. So the first step is to install the agent skills. So while it will install them, we can talk about them, but let's first prompt it because then Claude will do its magic. So we go to Claude. I'm in a dedicated and empty folder, so it's easier to start clean. I will start to copy the prompt. Let us know if you have this prompt. Otherwise, we can send it to you, and we
We
start the
put
demo.
we put the link in the comments. It should be visible on the 3 platforms. So just click on the Google Drive and you have a document with everything in there. If not, just
Amazing.
reach out in the chat and we catch up.
So now I guess Claude is going to install the skills in this folder. So that will be useful. What we released the skills to help. So I don't know if everyone know what a skill is,
Now,
but
and
Jonathan.
but no, I have quite of an idea, but I will be honest. I'm getting lost sometimes in because you have the Claude, the co-work node, then you have the skills, you have the connectors, you have the plugins, and you love about synthetic data, and then my brain is pretty melting. So I would love to have like maybe a very precise definition of those different elements by my dear François.
No, I mean, we can first focus on the skills because it's a topic and then we can extend, obviously. But the skills, it's basically, I would say, knowledge, if we want to simplify a lot, knowledge shared with the LLM. So with the agent, we are sharing knowledge about something. So you can create skills for a lot of stuff. What you're seeing on my screen is that we just installed 10 skills. It's the set, the default set from Luzmo. We have 10. We created 10 skills. What it means is that it means we are sharing knowledge. Where this knowledge is coming from, that's actually the most interesting part. It's coming from the brain of a lot of people at Luzmo. It comes from solution engineers. It comes from product managers, from engineers. So people who are using Luzmo, they built and they shared this knowledge with you in different skills. And how it's useful? It's useful because it will help now Claude to understand how to use Luzmo as fast as possible, as efficient as possible, and to not waste time and tokens to do things on a mode on a trial and error mode. So what we installed, maybe
Maybe
I can
François,
go.
just to make
Go
sure.
ahead.
So I love to make things, very like easy for me. We could say basically that the skill is like a recipe when you're preparing the meal. Is it a correct analogy to say recipe skill because it's a subset of the know-how that's everything is in that recipe at the end?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it can be
Okay.
seen like that. So here today we are trying to make a cake. The cake is the AI chart library, and
Exactly.
we can expect Claude to build it or to cook it himself, but it will be a bit tougher for him. So we are building all these recipes to help Claude to work as efficiently as possible.
Okay.
So we have 10 skills. Each skill has its own focus. As you can see, we have a core skill, troubleshooting skill, data visualization skill, custom chart skill. So we have quite a lot. And actually, what is interesting is that now Claude can call these skills depending on what we want to build. For instance, today we are going to build the AI chart library. So I'm pretty sure that Claude will try to check the knowledge in the AI analytics to understand what it can do with the building AI with Luzmo. So if everyone has installed the skills, we can go to the next, because the next one is the biggest one. So let's copy the second one. I will explain a bit maybe before we start. So this is a prompt. Here the idea is to ask Claude to build the AI chart library. So we are asking some details. We are putting some details to ensure that it will build what we are expecting. We are also sharing an ambit key and token, as well as a dataset ID. Why? Because the chart library will be built on a chart library, and it needs a live token to access it. We are
François,
also
is there any recommendation when building the prompt, or did you go in because let's face it, we are streaming online. Everybody talk about the platform. We're just talking to instead of. Is there a call on your end to put more thoughts in building a prompt than just talking a prompt? It's because you see that a lot online today, and so I was curious about your opinion.
You mean typing instead of talking to?
Yeah, you see, all those guys now they type a key and it's blah 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 blah, and up they that's the prompt. When I look at what you do here, it's a bit like we saw it a few months ago. You need to give context, a role, the output expected. Is this something still useful today or not? I'm just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, here for this workshop, the prompt is a bit so it's still human readable. That's quite important. It's not just a prompt with a lot of details. I
Okay.
tried to add more details, the only details we need, but it's also quite structured because we want to achieve a goal, and I don't want us to do 2, 3, 4, 5 iterations. Indeed,
Okay.
when I'm using Claude on daily basis, the prompts are more, I would say, maybe unstructured, and it's where I can talk to Claude and ask something, but then it will require more iterations. Here, I wanted to
Okay.
have 2 or 3 prompts, and you can build something in 2 or 3 prompts. That's actually the goal for today. So here we have this prompt, and we are going to create an application. So let's start. It will take some time. So now we can let Claude work and see what it does. The first thing actually it's doing is that it goes to the AI analytics skill to check how it works for IQ, because I asked to have AI chart library. So it knows that Luzmo IQ would be in AI analytics, and data visualization, because I asked to use Luzmo charts. To use chart in AI chart library, it will use Flex chart. So here you're already seeing how useful it is to have skills, because instead of wondering what it can do, otherwise it will go to the developer documentation, it will try it in different ways, and it will waste a lot of time. So here, using the skills, it's already helping Claude to direct it. And when we are looking at the skills itself, we can also do that if we have time. You will see that it gives a lot of details on what to do right and what also to not do. So it knows what to avoid, what kind of traps you need to avoid to make a lot of errors. So that's
Okay, I
that's what
already
it
have
is.
two questions for you, François, because I promised
Go
the
ahead.
people to ask questions, and I hope that we will have questions in the chat as well. You loaded 10 skills. How can will Claude basically use all the skills, or just use the skills that are appropriate to the prompt that you do? And can he be smart enough to identify the skills that you need to call? How does that work? Because it seems very magic, because if I type tomorrow, I don't know, AI generator dot skill, doesn't mean anything. It's from the inside of your skill. How does that work? How does he know what to use?
So it's a good question, and we are sharing a document which is a skill MD with details on what each skill is doing. So some high-level description of the skill, and Claude will read only this document, and depending on the description and depending on what each skill will do, it will use the right skill or not. So
Okay.
the main goal is that it shouldn't read 10 skills because many skills here, for instance, we provided a token. So it doesn't have to create a token. So it doesn't have to use the skill with the token generation.
Okay.
So
Because he already has one.
it already has one. So it's quite smart enough to understand that, because when it's reading the description of the skills in the skill MD file, it will help him to navigate into the skills and load only the ones it needs, which will also help to avoid having too much in context and to go fast as possible.
Okay, so I have a linked question to this, because if I get it right, you said I could have basically dropped developers.luzmo.com in Claude and say, hey, find it out yourself. And you would have probably be able to land at the same level. But I see two impacts from something you just said is time. And most of the time we say time equal money. In the world of AI, time equal tokens, I guess. So basically budget as well. So we can talk money there, correct? To see it that way, or more time or more you consume. Yes. And then that's one of the first thing. And then the second one that I said is documentation, skill, speed. Well, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I don't have a second question. It's a natural question. It's basically the speed of having package information.
I mean, what is amazing is that you're answering your own questions. So that's
Yeah,
perfect.
because yeah,
You,
exactly.
you can run the workshop.
No, I cannot run the
So
workshop.
cool.
I play with your skills. I love the application route. No, but I think it's something that I know that more and more companies are paying attention. I think it's right. It's the token consumption is becoming really huge, and I think sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for bad reasons. But the skill will help you already optimize towards that. It will also help you being directly with the latest documentation, if I get it right as well. And then I saw something, but it's probably too far now. No, I see. I will try the Luzmo MCP dataset search. MCP, mate, I'm a marketeer. It's like the hot of the hot for the moment. If you don't have an SCP, basically you fail your career in product management. So we have an MCP at Luzmo as well that is basically called through the skill.
So we have MCP, and when you are installing the skills, we didn't do it here, but you can also install the MCP. So yes, Luzmo has an MCP. You can install the MCP at the same time when you are installing the skills. And the main difference, I would say, between the skills and the MCP is that the skills, like you said, it's more recipes, where the MCP, it's more tools. So the skills, it doesn't do anything, because the
Okay.
recipe, it doesn't do anything for you. The MCP, it does things. It's their tools doing things for you. So it has some, we have our MCP has a lot of tools you can use. It can be also useful in this context. We didn't use the MCP, but it could have been useful, for instance, to retrieve the data set and everything. What we did instead is that we asked in a skill, we guided Claude to check the data set. That's what he did here, as you can see in this part. Is explaining what is the data set. I added the dataset ID, and what he did is that he read, or he fetched the data set. He discovered that there are 81 rows. It's not a lot of rows, and it's about AI models benchmark. So our AI library will be based on a data set, and the data is based on the AI model benchmarks. So he did it using the skills to know how to fetch the data set. And the tool, he used the tool, obviously, we are providing through our API.
Okay. Lovely. So Agathe is telling us it's working at her end. It's working at my end as well. I cannot screen share on top, otherwise I will crash the entire internet because I see that I am so blurry, man, already on the different streams. She said it takes time. Is it correct? I don't know who is laughing out, but it's a very good thing. So keep dropping those emojis. At least it made my day. And so we are building an entire React app from what I was seeing over here. So 10 minutes to build a React app. Yes, it seems long because we wait for it, but in the time that we had to build that from scratch, you wouldn't have done much in 10 minutes.
Yeah, so there are a few things here. Obviously, we are starting from scratch. If you are talking, so if you know Luzmo, and if you are using Luzmo in your own application, if you are a customer, or if you don't, the idea of Luzmo is to embed analytics. So you will embed analytics in your own app already. So here we are building an app from scratch, but the use case is obviously to embed the application we are building into your own application. So you are not going to start from scratch for you. Here we are starting from scratch because for me, what is very powerful also to show is that you can build an entire application, obviously with Claude, it's already there, but with Luzmo in not a lot of time, with guidance from the skills. And we also added some guardrails to ensure that it's already loading a preview, you see. So it's not so slow.
No, but it's so cool. And you know why people are saying it's slow? And Agathe is honest because she said, have multiple tasks running on Claude at the same time and running the workshop. Multitasking is the way to go, I guess.
Yeah, and of course, I stopped everything to focus on this workshop. Everything is on my laptop is not working. I just have a browser and Claude working, so to ensure that it goes as fast as possible.
François, do you know what we said about multitasking a few years ago? Huh?
No.
The fastest way to screw everything together.
But with AI, it's not the same now.
Hey, AI wasn't there. I said a few years ago, AI wasn't there. Hey, Mr. Odd, good to have you with us. Basically, if you get back in the conversation, there is a Google Drive and you can catch up. But I see that Claude is already working because you're also a Claude addict. So happy to have you with us as well, Mr. Odd. So where are we here, François, now? Because people will tell us you're nearly at 10 minutes now. So watch out at what you're doing. Because then you will tell me that I'm extending the webinar, but it's your fault and you take too much time this time. Huh?
I mean, it's Claude's fault. So, but indeed, so we are very close. I mean, the app is created, and now Claude is trying to check if everything is working as expected. Because in the prompt, I asked Claude to confirm that the charts were loaded correctly. What you don't want when you are building something is that you don't want just to go fast without quality. That's why we are using also Luzmo, because with Luzmo you can build visualizations, but with good quality. So here we are just asking Claude, check if it works as expected and if the quality is there. If it is, then it will provide the URL to check how our app is looking.
Let François look. Okay. Leo, just for myself, are you from the company Phoenix? I'm looking at the people. I'm multitasking as well, so that's why. Okay, cool. I believe we need to start some session in French, François, because I think we have 30% French-speaking people in the audience this time.
Ah, let's go. No worries.
Do you understand this, François?
Yes, I guess that now for Shanti, it starts to, so the app is built, and now server are starting for testing, so it means that it has to test. I don't think that, I mean, let us know, Shanti, if you're encountering an issue, but testing is expected. We are expecting actually maybe even a screenshot of the app showing in Cloud. So let's see how it goes. But if we have some, if someone has finished already, let us know as well.
On va devoir aller chercher Léo. Hein? I'm pretty sure that Leo is already ready. But he will not say it because he's scared that I pull him on screen. No, at my end, I'm still building as well, but I'm streaming and recording, so I'm probably the slowest this time.
So you mean it doesn't work for you, Jonathan?
It's still building, but I'm just at 7 minutes because I started later than you and trying to answer the chat.
Yeah, but that's the longest part here, huh? And it makes sense.
No, but again, but I would say to the people that are building, ask questions. If they're, or if you even tell me that you want to move on stage, I can even try to find a way to get you on stage. But the idea is really, let's try to build some knowledge or experience, challenge François on maybe something that you're struggling with. I know that we have mainly customers of us over here, and we are like dropping those step by step.
Oh,
but again,
see,
woo!
There is a screenshot already.
Screenshot.
So it seems that there is a table here. That's pretty cool. And it even says that the app renders beautifully. So not too bad.
Agathe, they are not as good in design as you are. It's impossible. Just be that machine, please. Show me that you have something much more lovely than what we will end up on the screen.
That's the next step. Huh? The next step. So right now we are building a generic app. The next step is try to customize this app.
So you're going to, can we connect it to a design.md file, for example?
I mean, we definitely can. We are going to do a shortcut here, but indeed you can also use a design MD or design system or whatever you are using to even include design stuff. So it verifies a lot of stuff here just to ensure that the quality is good. It's not all this stuff, so sharing the screenshot and everything is not required. If you are working on your own application, you can skip this. Here it's mostly to also show that it works and that we have already some application built. And then we'll discuss the most important thing from my point of view is the customization. I don't know if it shared.
Regarde. Il y a Léo qui te challenge.
Wait, I'm coming back.
So it seems that your local host might be already open.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. I'm just trying to check what is indeed. I
Thank you,
just
Leo. Thank you, Leo. Let's put François a little bit under pressure. I like that too.
it's just that I'm not sure which port it uses. So
And
indeed,
if you ask, it will interrupt, I guess.
yeah, 1990.
He's not
No,
queuing.
I can probably stop it, but I don't want to ask too many questions as well. So let's see. Maybe it's okay. So let me share my screen. Can I switch what I sharing? So I will let him finish. Let's share now the work. So this is what AI built.
Ta-da!
It's a very AI application, I would say. So it looks like what Claude is building when you're asking something quite
Well,
simple.
I don't agree, François. Normally, it would be in brown, yellow colors, not blue. Claude is always in the brown kind of palette. Huh?
Okay, so as you can see, what it is, it's ask your data, and you see already some pre-filled, so predefined questions based on the data set we provided. So let's say that we want to know the number of models released per year. It will ask Luzmo IQ. So at the same time, it's probably working as well. So if it's interrupting, we maybe need to. Okay.
You mean that you're querying on an app which is still not finished to be
Yes, not
built? Is that what you said?
finished,
Okay.
but
Ben non,
yeah.
ça marche
But I
même comme
mean,
ça.
exactly, and even in French.
I can even play the drum for you, my friend, now.
That's great. So here we have an app. We built an app, and it works. You can save it to the library. It's saved, and it should be then in the library just there. So that works. Shark library is something many customers are asking us to build, and now with AI, with Flex for our charts and everything, it can be done very easily. But now you see, it's really also the design is really Luzmo. So what I would like to do next is to customize this UI. So I will go back to Claude.
You stop
And
screen sharing, and just so you know, François. Okay.
yeah, of course I'm switching, and I will just use.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry.
But I will ask you a question now, Jonathan. So
Me?
be prepared. Be prepared. So I'm putting the last prompt to make this
Mm-hmm.
app to fill a native part of inspiration. So what is inspiration? Inspiration, it can be your brand. If you are working in a company, you can ask, as you said, it can be a design.md if you have one. Here for the exercise, I would like to customize this app, and not just the app, but also the charts, to show to everyone that you can customize everything. That Luzmo charts are so, I would say, easy to customize that AI can also do it. But I would like to ask you what company you would like to customize? Not Luzmo, of course, because we have already the Luzmo chart by default. So outside of Luzmo, what kind of inspiration would you like to
I'm a huge
see?
fan, and I dropped the link. I don't know if it's useful for you, but I'm a big fan of the Stripe, the payment infrastructure platform. I think
I know the company.
on a marketing level and design level, I think those guys are doing really great.
So what we are saying to Claude now is to make the app really fitting the Stripe UI, fonts, and overall style. So now it starts again. We have our chart library built with I would say, our charts, Luzmo, default Luzmo charts. But what is really cool is that with some magic, and again, it's not from nothing. It's based on the skills we shared. We have skills helping Claude to understand how to customize and to customize really in details. Because with Luzmo, you can customize a lot of stuff. You can customize the charts, you can customize the spinner, you can customize all components, all elements of the visualizations, which will help you to fit exactly your own UI. Here we'll use Stripe. So let's say that Stripe tomorrow is calling us to build embedded analytics in their platform. In 2 prompts, it can be done with their own UI. So that's pretty cool.
François, if you have a good phone number, I'm happy to call those guys as well. And I will not wait them to call me. So if you want, I'm happy to call those guys. Yeah. Out of pure curiosity, and I just drop it in the chat, François, and it's because I love that site and probably that I got to know the site as well. Very good question before my stuff here. François, what are the 2 magic prompts that make it follow the design system perfectly?
So here, I mean, it's even probably a very easy prompt. I mean, depends also on the design system, but usually, I mean, Claude, it's very good to follow design system. So I would say that here, for instance, if you're looking at the prompt I added, it's not very simple because I wanted to say and to share what it should use. Stripe is nothing, so it will go to Stripe website and check website UI and get the design. Try to think about the design system of Stripe. If we are providing directly the design system, it can probably in 1 prompt, very short prompt, to build something very good. I mean, we tried also with we have our own also design system at Luzmo, and when we are using our own design system at Luzmo and asking to do something, Claude or Codex, it builds it follow very easily and without a lot of context the design system. So I'm pretty sure that in even 1 prompt, it can be done with the design system and everything you need. So here, what it does, it's interesting because it uses Luzmo Flex. So if you don't know Luzmo Flex, Flex is our architecture to build charts on the fly. So we are building charts not from nothing, I would say, and that's pretty impressive. And here we are using a skill to build it as fast as possible. So there are quite a lot of things to tackle, obviously, but it goes quite fast and it updates now the app. So I think it will be done pretty quickly.
Okay, so now we loaded 10 skills. You run a prompt to build a React app. You show it on screen. You interact with it. It was able to build a chart library, which was like something pretty insane to build a few years ago, which take now a few seconds. And now basically what you're doing is playing on something which is like music to your ear is I want to push the design system to really fit my brand so that it doesn't look like every LLM coded app out there and that it integrates smoothly in my own app, correct? So those are the 7 steps that we are covering until now.
Yes, correct. And again, what is really important is that the skills will provide the guidance to Claude. So it will help to really do what you want to do. Here, customize the app, because building the app itself, it's not very complex for Claude.
It's
Building
trivial.
an app, it's very trivial. We can do that in a prompt for anything. Where it starts to be a bit tricky is it's when you want to use obviously your own UI and charts.
Oops.
And with the skills we can come back into the skills as well because we have other skills added. You have a skill specifically focused on multi-tenancy, on data integration, on resource management. We are using obviously the theming one to customize the look. But what it means is that if you want to even implement multi-tenancy for your application, it's not the focus today, but you can ask Claude to build a multi-tenant app, and it will create very easily with the multi-tenancy everything needed, which means all the token and the underlying infrastructure. So it's really cool here. And you
Yeah,
see
I
that.
confirm, Agathe. We had to drop about 3-4 seconds, but the conversation was really about those skills guiding towards getting an app up and running. And I think when we dropped out for a few seconds, it was really about the level of personalization that you want to deliver to your end customer is really where guys like Francois build the product for. And I challenge Luzmo to always be at one level of your end customer so that you can deliver the way you want. And that is basically what we're trying to play with the design system over here, or with the instructions that are like very well guided thanks to the skill. And that's really what Francois is trying to build. Is there because I can imagine it's like every skill, if I take it outside the world of Claude or LLM, Francois, at the moment you have 50 or 100 skill. Does that still make sense? Or those things like not fighting against each other? And is it not becoming a mess? And is there not some kind of best practices about that as well? Do you deliver your skills in all your project? Do you keep the skills of Luzmo just when you build chart? Do you load that just at the root of your Claude? Or do you have any tips on this maybe?
Yeah, so it really depends. So it depends if you want your skills. It depends on what you are doing. If you want your skills to be global, so to work across all your projects for some reasons, because they are horizontal skills, maybe you want to use in different contexts, you can install them at the root. Of Claude to ensure that it will be used everywhere. But most often I'm using skills in a project. So in a context of one task, especially if it's very vertical skills, so to do specific, for instance, embedded analytics work, it's
Okay.
for the embedded analytics. For instance, when I'm doing product management, it's a little bit more horizontal skills. So let's
Okay.
say that I want to build a document for product managers, a PLD, for instance. I will use a skill, and this skill will be a bit horizontal because it depends of which project I'm working on. But I always want the same document, same format of the document to be done. So for me, it really depends on the usage. But for skills like Luzmo, it's really good to have something you can set up also locally on a specific screen. I shared my screen on our page, all the AI resources, because I wanted maybe to show also that we have the MCP, as you can see. We do have all the skills here. So that's what, when you are installing the skills, it installs all this stuff. That's very useful. And you have also some dedicated agents. We can maybe also talk
Okay,
about that.
stop, François, because if you go from skills to agent, now I need an explanation. What's the
So
difference then between a skill and an agent then? Because now,
it's
and you even mentioned MCP. So if I try to remember, I'm trying to play the good student over here. The scale was closer to the recipe. It's giving the instruction. The MCP has an access to a subset of tool through that MCP. And now on top of that, you're bringing me agents, AKA little robots doing stuff or something like that.
Yes, yes. So
Yes.
here, no, because you have a lot of tools. We are offering a lot of tools to help builders build what they really want. So the skills, like we said, it's knowledge. We are sharing the knowledge, and then with the agents, it's more about going deep in one topic with specific workflows, with different steps you can do, and doing very specific things. We have currently four, we do have 4 agents, and all these agents are doing a specific, I would say,
Role?
role,
Task?
even role. Yeah, not even a task. It's bigger than a task. It's a
Yeah,
role.
for me, it's a role with task under a role
Indeed.
that they can operate in autonomy, if I kind of understand it rightly.
Yes, you have the Luzmo AI engineer, and the Luzmo AI engineer will help you to set up everything around AI. You have the data engineer, you have the embed engineer. So each role here would be you can use it, and it will get all the steps required to achieve the goal. So let's say, for instance, it happens sometimes you have some errors when you are using Luzmo. It can happen.
It's
I saw
normal.
that.
It's technology. Who said that
Yeah,
technology never brings strange messages on the screen?
and as you know, troubleshooting is pretty annoying to troubleshoot an error. It's always annoying. And now with the Luzmo troubleshooter, it will help to find the error and to help you fix it. So I think that the agents are very, very useful when you are building, but also when you are doing some work like data engineering or things like that. For me, I'm using quite a lot the troubleshooter, but others are probably also very useful.
Okay, now I have a very good question for you. So be ready. It's popping up. Up, here we show. Where doesn't it show? Show. Here we go. Is there a way we could add a chart created in this app that we are building basically now together, if I get it, in a dashboard, like we wanted client to use an app like this, customize their dashboard?
Yes, and yes. Here, what we built is quite simple. It's just a chart library. We store the charts in the library. But then, if I understand correctly, what you are trying to do is that you want, when the chart is in this library, to be used in a dashboard. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
That's
I'm
it.
just asking just to ensure that the question is
Yep. Yeah, that's what she meant.
okay. So yes, definitely that's definitely doable. So it will have to be obviously asked to Claude to do it. But when the chart is created, you can save it, and when it's saved, you can also push it to Luzmo. So
Right. Yes.
just to come back maybe
To the app, yes.
yeah,
Or doc, I don't
because
know.
no, we go to the app. You ask for Stripe,
Yeah, not bad. Not
so
bad. A bit more
it's
pinky than they are, but not bad.
and the charts are different. I mean, the font is different, the color is different, the look
The,
and feel of
the
the chart is also different.
the box is
So
very well played because they play with special spacing. I know that there is like a touch that they have, and the spacing is really well done.
and then yes, the library is obviously also working. So here, what I
Attends.
really want to show is
Wait,
that
wait, 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 attends. Here you go, man.
So what is really important to understand here is that with Luzmo, you can customize charts very easily. So it's already native in our Flex charts. But when you are a builder, now with AI, with Claude, with Codex, with whatever, it's even easier because of the skills. You just use the skill. The skill will tell Claude or Codex or the agent to customize exactly uh, as your design system wants or as the branding you want. So that's very
It's
powerful.
impressive. It's crazy when you see 10 years ago where we were with and the complexity that was linked to our work and what we're capable to do today with those AI support. I would say it's pretty nuts. Do you still have other things that you would like us to discover, Francois? Because at the end, I will be honest, we have an app running. Agathe has a one running. Leo has one running. I did stop because it was killing my internet connection, to be honest. But it's not that I didn't manage to do it, but I had to stop. So no. Are you still
No, I
willing,
mean,
or
if you have in the document, I think that you have additional prompts as a
yep?
bonus if you want. We don't have to do that here, but it's also to show you how easy to support uh, dark mode, because the same Luzmo charts are supporting dark mode natively. It's also you can also create a brand picker. That the brand picker is very useful to show you different ways of you can visualize different design systems. It's also to show you how extended our capabilities to customize. So I would encourage, if you have time, to do it, to use these prompts and to show to build a very the app we want.
Yeah, the first. Yes, sure. I see that Agathe is already willing to dive deeper in what you shared. So I think that means that we hit something right. Uh, yeah, look at this.
Ah, that's
Okay,
amazing. That's amazing because
Agathe,
actually,
you just made his day, like we say in English. You just made his day. If one people could drop this, and I would love to have other people sharing the same kind of things that they aim to achieve thanks to this, because that's the kind of, I believe, content that is useful for you to push yourself also further, also ourselves, because the beauty of this. Francois is first line here. He's building this on a daily basis. So he's also experimenting the development of those features, the debugging, like he said, and now presenting to where you can go. And let's face it, in less than 30 minutes, we had the React app running with prompting. We rechanged the design. You have 2 extra prompts that allow you to have a dark theme and a light theme. And you can even imagine a fully design system with different themes in there, and this in less than an hour. So I would love to know in the chat, is this useful? Yes or no? If yes, what would be another topic where you want me to convince Francois to spend an hour with us again? And you can send that by email as well, or reach out on LinkedIn or whatever. But shoot, I'm trying to connect the dots here to know what we need to come up with more. And I think summer periods are good periods for that as well. You wanted to add something, my friend.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I'm not an engineer. So it's also very important to understand I'm a product manager. And as product manager, I'm not used to code a lot. And for me, what is amazing when you use Claude, for instance, and Luzmo, is that it helps you to really build a massive uh, application or do something very impressive, not just for prototype. Because a few months ago, you were saying, okay, product managers, they can do prototypes with AI, and that's it. Then you have to handle the prototype to engineers. That's still probably true, But when you are seeing the usage of skills, how good the quality of the outcome, you can probably go live and do production while being a product manager. So that's, I guess, a pretty impressive change in the last few weeks or months. I mean, that's for me super cool. And Luzmo is helping a lot with the different skills we have.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Okay. Test the two other prompts that are in the doc. Let us know if that was also useful. Agathe, you need to reach out to us in a few days to tell us that you built the library that you were dreaming in your product. Leo, I would love to know what extra mile or where we need to deliver a bit more as well on your end and making sure that we are in the right direction. The other ones that are there as well, let us know. Give us a score, I don't know, from 0 to 10. 10 is amazing, 1 is bad. Just drop us. That help us as well to work those contents. I'm really into trying to develop a little bit the YouTube channel during the summer, so full force for this. I have a real big need to... Okay. She go for months, but you will go for weeks thanks to AI, I get, I'm sure. On that note, anything else you wanted to add, François?
No, I mean, let's try the skills. If you have anything, if you have an app to share, feel free to share. I would be very happy to see that. If you have feedback on the skills, feedback on anything, Luzmo, feel free also to reach out. We want feedback, so that's always very useful. And yes, just very excited to see what we can do in 3 months, because as fast as it goes, I guess that in 3 months we can build a very impressive tools very quickly.
Sure, 100%. Shanti, Agathe, Leo, because you were really active on the chat, I can even put you in touch directly. Shanti, you can do it without me because you know us very well. But Agathe and Leo, if you never had the chance to chit chat with François and that you want to spend 30 minutes with him, pick his brain, see how he can help, just reach out and I will make that happen. Thank you a lot for those interactions, guys. Last day of Q2, so we end up very well, I think, François. We made it happen. So quick reminder, 10 skills ready for you. Use them, abuse them. That's really what we expect. There is an MCP that allow you. So if skills or recipe MCPs is your connection to the tools, and we have even agents that support you on a daily basis. The preferred one of François is the troubleshooting one that help him debug stuff. So that's honestly as well. In less than an hour, we had our React app running. We built a chart in there. We redesigned based on an inspiration from another band to have a design in there. We shared some other resource there, and you can still tap in 2 extra prompts for dark mode, light mode, and even changing themes. Less than an hour. In my opinion, I give you a 9 out of 10 for this, François, because I think it's pretty fantastic what we managed to deliver over here. I really hope that the audience had also fun with this. I try to keep it also a little bit interactive with everybody by providing more context. If that still makes sense, feel free to reply on the email that Connie's sending, because big shout out to Connie. Wait, you know what? I need to do this. That is just for Connie. Okay, now that I found that new button, it's finished, guys. I will abuse it and abuse it. On that note, I'm going to wish everybody a fantastic summer. I hope that you are all enjoying great vacation. Enjoy the family time. Watch out for the heat, because it seems that in Europe, it will be very, very hot. François, thank you very much. And if I have more calls of the people that want to see you more on this kind of setting, I will make it happen, my friends. So you're
cool.
already aware. All right. So on that note, merci beaucoup, mon ami, and have a lovely end of the day, guys. Cheers.